Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Another TFSA trade portfolio update. We like to do one during the week when the markets are open, and the markets are, let's just call them choppy. I did a post on my community tab, poll on my community tab, asking how people think that the market is going to be over the next 6 months. If you haven't voted on that yet, I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. Go check it out. It's definitely, people are unsure. I'm kind of taking that same stance as well. We're seeing there's just a ton of uncertainty out there, I think, in the market with interest rates, with inflation, and it's having an effect on our portfolios. Obviously, mine has stayed pretty consistent. You'll see from the update, we are staying pretty. We're not really getting any gains. We're not really taking any losses, but it's just up and down throughout the day. Even if I watch it, so you can go a bit crazy if you even checking this throughout the day. Portfolio is a little bit down. You'll see that as well. But again, we're still just starting out. We're building our base of this, and we'll jump into the portfolio. We'll show you how the TFSA portfolio is doing and kind of my thoughts on what I'm going to start to kind of get back into and put in for my next deposit on the channel. So let's just jump right into it. All right, here we are. We are in the TFSA Wealthsimple trade portfolio. We're using the app. We always like to use the app. This is my preference to use as well. So let's just see how we're doing. We're down a little bit today, 0.37%. We're just going up and down throughout this week as well. But we are seeing a few gains in some of the stocks, which is nice to see. We'll just go through quickly, and then we'll kind of do an overview of how the portfolio is performing. So BEP.UN, this one, I'm really wanting to get more into this in this coming year. I think there's some good opportunity for growth in BEP.UN. It was up last year quite a bit, and it took quite a bit down. So I think there's some good opportunity for some growth in the next 4 or 5 years. This portfolio, again, if you're watching and following along, we're talking long-term 5 to 10 year investment. So we're not necessarily too concerned about the daily fluctuations. Just to keep that in mind. We are up today 1.74%, which is nice. But again, down on the portfolio, 10.45%, and we do have just 10 shares. It is a pricey share to buy, $41 right now. CMC, this one, Cielo Waste Solutions, actually had a good jump the other day. It was looking good, but then again, the markets are up and down. It's kind of back down. It's gained a little bit of ground, which is nice to see, but we're still unfortunately down a little bit on that. Long-term hold for sure. They're obviously pre-revenue. Hopefully, if that's something that can take off, that might be a good long-term investment, hopefully. ETC, now this one is the Evolved Cryptocurrencies ETF. If you're following crypto market, you know as well. Definitely a lot of volatility there. The price is down, and actually I took the opportunity. I learned that you could actually, I had $20 in my Wealthsimple Cash App, and you can actually now, with the update to the app, you can transfer your Cash App over to your trade portfolio. So I just took that 20 bucks and I put it in and bought 2 shares of this yesterday. So we were adding up, we're on 77 shares of this. We are unfortunately we're still down 30%. Not too worried. I think long term, this is hopefully going to be a nice ETF to have a bit of exposure into in the portfolio. On that note, in the Cash App, if you aren't signed up for Wealthsimple Cash App, check out that link in the description down below. If you sign up, you'll get 10 bucks into your Cash App account. It also shoots me $10 as well. So thanks to everybody that has signed up for that. It's really appreciated. And we used those 2 signups, and I added 2 ETC shares to the portfolio. So thanks so much. Greenlane Renewables, this one, again, our long-term renewable energy stock. This is what our portfolio is weighted on quite a bit. We are still down a little bit, 22.83%. I think this one's going to do well though as well. They've got some contracts coming up. There seems to be like a backlog of work that they have to actually do. So this company is growing, which is nice to see. REI.UN, RioCan Real Estate Investment Trust. This one's doing quite well, actually. We're up 8.71% on 25 shares. We will certainly be adding to the portfolio with RioCan. It's been a good performer in my portfolio so far, which is nice to see. And RNW, TransAlta Renewables, as you've been watching the channel as well, you know this one came down. They had some issues with one of their wind farm back east in Canada. They have to replace all of the turbines and I believe foundations of these from portion of this wind farm. So going to be very expensive. That caused the stock to drop quite a bit, but we're actually seeing some nice recovery from that. And I think long term, we'll see some more recovery from TransAlta Renewables. And I'll keep adding to that. Their dividends so far haven't been haven't been affected by anything with that. So it is kind of nice to see. We're up a little bit today, 1.86%, but again, down 12.66 on the portfolio. We will keep adding to that. Nice monthly dividends coming in from TransAlta Renewables. Solar Alliance Energy, this is again our long-term kind of little gamble play. Not doing too well right now. We're down to 12 cents. We'll just kind of cross over that. We're not putting any more money into these right now. We're just going to kind of watch them. If we see a bit of action or see some news, I might put a little bit more in to average our cost down, but no plans at this point. We're going to be focusing more in the new year on kind of our core main stocks and ETFs in this portfolio for sure. Slate Office REIT coming up nicely. Seems to be people are going a bit more to some of these more secure dividend dividend producing stocks over top of growth stocks. We're seeing that in this up a little bit. We are just down 1.52%. Not too worried about that on our 65 shares. We'll keep adding to this. This one gives our regular monthly dividends as well. It's nice to get our dividends in because we can kind of start to reinvest those. We're starting to have 15 to 20 bucks a month come through, which is kind of nice to see. So we can reinvest that into additional stocks. It takes a little bit to kind of build that up to be able to buy something, but it's nice to finally see that snowball building in the portfolio. And Telus is, doing well, down a little bit today, but not too worried. 29.77, but we're up 5.97% on our 16 shares of Telus. We will keep adding to that one and get our regular dividends as well. Now, these have done okay. The VDY is our Vanguard Canadian High Dividend Yield ETF. This one has been doing well in their portfolio. Based on our returns, it's actually our best performing ETF, which is nice to see, up 14.69%, which is nice. It's nice to see something in the green rather than the red. We have 40 shares. We will get our regular dividends on that as well. We will be adding to this. My goal for this year is to focus on VDY, and the next one you're going to see here, which is VFV. This one we're going to see some volatility in with the market because obviously this is the S&P 500 Index ETF, and we've come down a little bit. You can see we're down a little bit today, $101. So we are only up 1.86%. That being said, I'm going to keep an eye on this one. It's a pricey stock, over $100 now, but I think there's still growth opportunity. And for my portfolio timeline, I don't want to be scared by prices possibly dropping on this. I think we can take advantage of that with our long-term investment in goals and pick up more Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. Now, I haven't done a deposit for January yet. But I will keep an eye on that because sometimes if you see something that is in your portfolio or in my portfolio that I want to kind of jump at and I see the price that it's, we see a good drop on that. Sometimes drops are good. We can kind of jump in. I'll keep an eye on VFV. If it goes under 100 bucks, I'm going to try and grab that again because I think that is obviously going to be going up in the long term on that. We did receive, like I said, that $20, so that went to available trade. We still have $4.44 left. Once we do it at the deposit, we'll put that back into the portfolio. There's nothing really I want to buy right now, so we'll just let that $4 sit there, and we will do our deposit. More towards the end of the month is when we'll add a good chunk of money into the account and do a few more purchases. Plan is for VFV, VDY, RNW. And we will add a couple to the Telus position as well. Let's just go through and I'll show you how we're doing. Obviously on the day, we'll refresh this. On the day, we're down 0.55% basically. And you can see from the chart here, we're up and then down. But on the week, down $118 so far, 90 cents on the week. On the month, $202. And 3 months, down $4.26. That's basically from, mostly from the ETC, the Evolved Cryptocurrency ETF. But again, long term, we're going to add to that. We'll average our cost down if the cost is lower, or we'll keep adding to that portfolio. And I think there'll be some growth opportunities there. Definitely in the long term of the future. If you're invested in cryptocurrencies, let me know down in the comments below. It's interesting to kind of see what people are thinking of this space. It's new to me. It's new to everybody, obviously, or relatively new to a lot of people. So it'll be interesting to see. 1 year, we haven't quite been going for a year. Again, we started back in April, down 4.65%. Not too worried. I think we're going to gain that back this year as we start to do more strategic investments. I'm learning as we go here about what things I should or shouldn't have done. So it's nice to share those with everybody that is following along. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed this update. It's always nice to do an update when the market is open. We'll be back on the weekend after the markets have closed for a week. We'll do an update how we've done. No plans to make a deposit for the rest of the week here, unless I see some good deals come up. Maybe there is. We'll keep an eye on the market for sure. To everybody that has been following along on the channel, it's great to see the channel is growing. I really appreciate the community we're starting to build here. It's nice to see the regulars leaving regular comments on every, almost every video. So I really appreciate everybody that has joined along. We're building kind of a great community on here. It's great to have you following along. If you've made it this far and you aren't subscribed, just go take a look, hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to have you join and follow along my journey. We started back in April. We are trying to grow the portfolio up into $100,000. It'd be great to have you join along and follow along. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you in the next video.